Welcome to my quick walkthrough video of my level design here in Unreal Engine. This is my level blocking out for the Game Brief Phantom Scout. As we start off in the level, we're starting off in the woodlands, and immediately there are structures which come into view. They will not be green in the game, obviously, but they are to help direct the players and the environment designers into how this is going to look when it's developed further. So anyway, we come along here, the player is able to move around. This here will be all water, where I'm looking at the moment, which is depicted in the level design that I created. So anyway, as you're playing along, you come up here, this will probably most likely be a train that's been derailed, and you come along up to here and you get to a bridge. Again, so green often symbolises where you can walk, the yellow is for locations that you can jump to. So anyway, come to this bridge, and here I've set the scene. This right there, this is where we're aiming to get within the 10 minutes. So as you're coming along, you'll run down here, your character will jump down, and the first thing that will come into sight is this bench here. At night, the idea is that this will be a lamppost, so this will be a guide for the character straight off. And they can come over here, and this is where they will meet the rebel civilian, and they shall chat here for a minute or so, and then the rebel civilian will give them the next location that they need to go to, which is Piotr's hut, which is further up. She'll explain it's through the city. So anyway, so as we continue on, we'll continue running through the city, and then you get to this location here, and the player will see this bridge, and he'll be like, how do you get to there? And the idea is that this location here will guide your player to a set of stairs. And throughout the city, for example, under here, if the player were to explore, I'll just quickly show you, oops. If the player were to explore, they'd be able to come across little areas which will help set the scene and be a bit of a mise-en-scene. I can't quite remember where this is located to get to. Yes, so you go around here, and the player can go down here, and the idea is they'll be able to find, for example, propaganda on the walls. There'll be a bit of information sort of about what's happened, who the protectorates are, and yes, and again, all these green items here, whilst they are just squares at the moment, they are designed to be different objects that you'd find in a city. So anyway, coming back up here, the player is able to go across here. Pink symbolises area that the player can hide behind, aka partial cover, which will be more apparent later on in the level design. So anyway, the character will come around here. Again, there is a setting of mise-en-scene. This is for when the player gets lost later on, in case they do. I've made sure that there's multiple ways to access certain areas. For example, if they fall off, they have the ability to, they have the ability to follow back round and get back up into the location. So there isn't too much backtracking, there is a little bit, again, to add to the scene so the player can explore. And here we are. This is designed to be a broken down track, and again, all the way around there will be trees, there's city buildings, again, refer to the brief. I put in my mood board there for ideas on how the city will look. So the idea is supposed to be very dystopian, crumbled, NASA punk, going for all that and everything. So yes, anyway, the character comes over here, and again, these will be symbols of where the character needs to go, and if you see in the distance, this is Piotr's hut. So anyway, as we're running along, we'll go up here, up, oopsies. So I'm not very good at this. Okay, there we go. However, up here, they'll see that there is no location, and this is just on the boundary of the 300 by 300 meters. So they should hopefully come along here. Bit of a change of direction. We'll be able to come up here, and up we go. And again, that's where they know they need to be heading. So I'll run over here, and there's some stairs. And here they shall have a quick conversation with Piotr, explaining what they need to do, where they are going, and there'll be a bit of backstory to his life and everything, and how he lost his family and parents, and daughter rather. So anyway, we come along here, and again, this is just heading into the mountains. The idea is that these blocks will be different items such as fallen trees, abandoned mine carts, rocks, bricks, anything which will help to get the player up into the mountainous region, as the level is very hilly, shall we say. And again, the yellow symbolises just a jumping mechanism, so the player can jump into here, and this is where they'll start to think, okay, this looks like there could be some sort of fight that's going on. Again, there's different levels of cover, so the player can hide behind and advance forward. And we're going to jump over here. And again, these are full cover. They are inspired by old trains that have been derailed and sold cargo. And then we come down here, and this is the first area that the player recognises to be a fight scene and whatnot. So anyway, there's plenty of places that the player can climb back up if they fall down, and they want to get up here. And again, they can hide behind the fences, they can crouch down. So we're going along here now. Oh dear, try not to get stuck. We're coming along here, go up here. And again, the level design itself is very open, so the player can just explore however they want to. If they explore too much, some of the areas are difficult to get back up to. So yeah, the player will have to backtrack a bit to find their way back, but it is always accessible. There are always places to get to. So anyway, here we come again up here. And just to note, down here, this will be where Piotr will no longer be able to advance forward. So in the brief, I've said he is murdered. The idea being that there will have been an enemy attack in this area here. And so after you get used to knowing what to expect, what the level's going to be like, how hard it's going to be, and after Piotr has helped guide you into how you can sort of defeat the enemies and keep your eyes peeled and everything, he ultimately ends up dying and leaving you on your own. So it builds in sort of another level of difficulty. Excuse my pun. But anyway, so... And again, all the items around here that you see, all these green boxes, they will be other items such as rocks and everything which I've sort of already stated. Again, that will be easier for the player to run up. This, for example, could be a pipe, because we are in a mining area again, hence this item here. And this item here will be the entrance to a mine, which will provide cover in gameplay and also just a place of rest for the players and a place of exploration where they can find out and discover new things. So yes, and again, the player can still see that the location that they are getting to or wanting to get to is still in visible line of sight, except when they get into woodlands such as this, in which case it's much more difficult. Anyway, here is a tower. The idea is the player will be able to get to the top. They can see how far they've come, but also just sort of explore the areas. And anyway, this is the next fight area. So the player can run through here, they'll be shooting, there will be items around here. Unlike the first one, there's items that the player can pick up to continue fighting with, for example. So anyway, you come to the next part of the woods, and you're able to make it the way up here, and jump across here, and you can climb up continuously. Again, these items are all going to be tree roots, stumps, anything and everything that you do find in a woodland. And again, keeping in mind it's for the mining area, there will be mining aspects too. So anyway, you're coming around, and then you get to this location here, and there will be enemies beyond the trees. So you want to sort of run over here, and there'll be another shooting. It'll just be a short, quick burst. And so anyway, we come down here, and this is the next location. The place is now concealed, but there is a clear path, and again, there's going to be a river sort of running all the way up here, which I have shown in my brief as well. So anyway, we're going to run around, coming down here, over, and you can probably just about see the city over there. And so yes, we come down here, coming around here, and here's the interesting part. Again, you're automatically thinking, okay, there's going to be another shooting range area, but as you come down, you'll notice it's all facing you, so all the areas are facing you, so you feel like something's going to happen. And here is the final stage, the final area we are exploring and the final location of the level design. And anyway, as you're coming round, you'll notice there are all these items, however there's no enemies. And the idea being, because there is only 10 minutes of gameplay, I figured if there were another set of enemies, it may be a bit too much for the characters, so for the player rather. And anyway, so yes, the idea is once you go inside this building, then you have a showdown with some more enemies. So here we get to the final bit. Thank you for watching. And yes, I hope you enjoyed, and I will look forward to hearing feedback. If there's any questions at all, let me know. And yes, anyway, thank you very much. During the game, it will mostly be day, however, at night, if you're in the city area, the street lights will be lit, which will help guide you through the city as it is a large sort of blocked off area. Again, as I explained sort of through earlier on in the video, there are street lamps dotted around, again to help aid with lighting. So for example there, and then there's one further up and so on, around the corner. And this is to just help guide the player as it gets dark. However, at night, when the level is played in the darkness, there is still good lighting in the mountains, due to the fact that the moon will be up and it will be reflecting off of the snow just around the environment. So